Hey y'all, welcome to Tarot in the Dark. Tonight we're gonna take a look at something that personally I was getting ready to do a reading on myself on this topic, and I heard Spirit and my guides say do this for the collective, because this is a collective challenge. This is not something that's a Tory challenge. This is for all of us. So we're gonna transmute the energy of putting other people first. Okay, how do you change that? How do you stop making other people more valuable and important than yourself? If you're empathic, then you probably have this issue. You probably have a challenge with putting other people's opinions, thoughts, ideas, feelings, and needs before your own, especially if you operate in any type of service career. So any job that requires that you serve the community or people around you. If you are a people pleaser, anything like that, we're going to take a look at this energy together and we're going to transmute it, okay? So I am going to do a couple of things different than what I would typically do. So first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to light my candles. Okay, this is to set the intentions. When we're done with the reading, the intentions are set that the energy will clear, okay? And let's see if I can keep them lit because they're kind of low. And then the other thing I'm going to do is, if you have on headphones, I'm going to sound my sound bowl off. This just kind of clears the energy. I did this in a reading the other day and I found it to be super beneficial for just clearing the energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and set the intention that when this reading is over, I may ding the sound bowl again, and we will transmute this energy within us. We're alchemizing the shadow sides of ourselves in order for us to become whole, healed, and healthy, okay? So that we can walk into the destiny and desired things that we have been hoping and praying for. Alrighty. You're gonna hear a sound, so you may wanna turn your volume down. All right, let's dive in. I'm going to burn some more sage. I'm going to try to keep the sage burning throughout the reading so that we can get rid of the energy. Any negative, stagnant energy. This is going to probably get deep. So if you're not a deep person, if you don't want to go into the ocean, the deep, dark parts of the ocean with this Pisces, you may want to click off. There's a lot of readings on YouTube that you can watch, and I'm not offended at all if this is not for you, because this message will find whoever is ready to transmute this energy and whoever needs to hear this. And I thank God for giving me the opportunity to tap into this today. This is going to be powerful. I can feel it already. The King. Alrighty. Bottom deck energy is the Temple. Right off the bat, what Spirit is saying is that there's deep solitude, meditation, and consistent prayer that goes into an ask like this. I'm seeing 41, which is a 5. This is massive change that we're asking for here. This is giving me the Hermit energy, but the Hermit along with the 10 of Wands. It's almost as if there's a burden that's carried with this type of energy, with this type of ask. This is also a warning to some of you that by watching this reading, the energy will shift in you. There will be changes that will come, and your life will no longer be the same. So there's a warning to caution yourself as to whether or not you're truly prepared to do the work that's being asked. They're showing me the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra, and this is bringing those into alignment. The temple is where you go to seek guidance and assistance on things that you've been unable to correct or change on your own. This is where life is given. Life is given in the temple, and it's given through prayers and petitions. I'm hearing that scripture. Make your requests made known to the Lord. There's also something very sacred about this space right now. I heard that's because the Lord is going to remove the veil. So whatever veil, whatever we have been hiding behind, it's going to be removed. And you'll notice this here with the king. There's a stamp. There's a stamp, and there's a gift that comes from this type of request. It also, again, comes with a caution. I'm picking up on a caution. You'll notice that there's 5 fingers. There's a hand here, 5 fingers visible. This is massive change. This is a huge ask. So how to transmute the energy of codependency, people-pleasing, putting other people front and center versus allowing ourselves to be front and center. This is going to require an alignment with the chakras. From the 1st to the 4th chakra, which the 4th is the heart, this is the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, and the heart chakra. This is alignment with the King, alignment with Spirit, with God, with Jesus. This is alignment. I heard this is productivity. This energy feels so strong. Archangel Raphael is present. I'm seeing lots of green. Metatron is present as well. Metatron is the angel that takes you into your destined path. I am going to read some of these cards, but I do want to get the energy out on the table so that I can kind of see what Spirit's going to bring up. Okay. Trust. So free falling, allowing. That's a part of this, is simply allowing. Also, I'm seeing a balance between the divine feminine and masculine energy within each of us, which we all contain. The politics card, which is the 7 of Swords, is at the bottom of the deck. That's about not self-sabotaging. Not allowing others' mask to override your truth. This is an energy of allowance. Allowing. The interesting thing, excuse me. The interesting thing about this energy is that this individual has on shoes. You notice that they're fully clothed. There's something about that. There's something about being vulnerable, something about releasing your ideas and opinions. Not allowing yourselves to move too much, like take too much action with the masculine energy, and not allowing yourself to sit back and do nothing with the receiving energy of the feminine. It's like there's like a super balance in that, but it's requiring vulnerability. In order for you to be vulnerable, there has to be a balance, is what Spirit's saying. If you're not able to balance out your masculine and feminine energy, then there's no way that you'll be able to tap into the energy of the king. See, what they're showing me about the king is the king knows his authority and his power. The king knows his rightful position. The king does not ask for permission because the king is the one who grants permission. So when you know whose you are, when you know who you belong to, when you know that spirit is on your side, that God is for you and not against you, when you accept that, you're able to come into the temple being your whole self, right? That's where thank you so much, Spirit. That's where the vulnerability comes from. There's like a nudity that needs to be presented in who you are. But you first have to come into the temple before you can present yourself as the king. So in order for you to be able to operate with putting yourself first and not putting others before you, you have to first come into alignment with who you are, and that calls for you to step into the temple, the holy place, and fall into alignment with who Spirit has called you to be. There's also a submissive energy here. This is it's not a submission in the way that we're taught, and definitely not the way we're taught in church, guys. It's not a submission like, hey, you're the hierarchy, you're the boss, and you're it. It's they're showing me this song by Anita Baker. It's called Just Because, and she says basically like the love that we share is a welcomed sacrifice. So there has to be a heart. That's where the heart chakra comes in. Thank you, Spirit. And the personal willpower with the solar plexus chakra. That's what this is about. You have to get to a place in your life where you're willing to submit to God, submit to Spirit with your heart, and hand over your personal will and power, which comes in the form of control, guys. Okay, so your personal will and power is like a choice, right? That's your ability to make choices. When your solar plexus chakra is out of alignment, that means that you're trying to control. So when your solar plexus is in alignment, that's the power, personal will and power, solar chakra, forgive me, but I'm like, there's so much that you showed me, I want to just get it out. When your solar plexus chakra is in alignment, that's your personal power and your will. That's your ability to stand up for what you believe in and know that you're standing on business, right? Like 10 toes down. When your solar plexus chakra is out of alignment, that's when you have control issues. And the control issues come into play because you don't feel strong enough or capable enough to manage things on your own. Well, if you are a spiritual being, you understand that there is someone higher. There's a higher power. I don't care what you want to believe in. Whatever it is, there's somebody above you. So for me, it could be Jesus. It could be God. It could be Spirit. For some of you, it could be the universe or whatever you want to say. Whatever you want to call God. Because that's who He is for me. Whatever you want to call Him, there has to be some way of transferring over some of your control to Spirit, to your guides, to your ancestors. If you're not able to do that, then you're asking to function and do everything on your own in life. And that's going to keep you in a constant state of control, which will, in reality, kind of put you in opportunities to where you can give your power over to other people. That's how you get into codependency and people pleasing, because it's like, hey, I don't have the power to run my life myself. I don't trust Spirit. I don't trust God with my life. I don't trust my spirit guides. I don't trust my ancestors. So I'm gonna just figure this out myself. And then that's how you fall out of the temple, because the temple is going to require and ask that you allow Spirit in, and that's where the submission comes from. Spirit, I know that I can't do this by myself. I can't take myself to my destined location, to the North Node. I don't know how to get myself there. So I need help. And with that, I understand that I need to start seeing myself, because people have disappointed me. People have let me down. People have wore masks, kept me in a constant state of grief and guilt and agony, feeling like I was constantly being ripped apart into pieces. People have been snakes in my life. And because of that, I now realize that I need to start paying attention to myself. A lot of you have been placed in positions, thankfully, right? Through prayer, I believe. I believe a lot of you have prayed for God to place you in a position to where you could separate and leave behind the energy of the past. I think that you have inquired, prayed, sought God out, and said, please remove me from the darkness. Rid me from the people, places, and things that do not belong in my life. Show me my path forward so that I can start to live in enjoyment and freedom and in peace and harmony, right? You want to live in environments where things grow, not deceive you. This is manipulation, deception. It's politics. What are politics, right? Lies, deceit. Interesting thing is the opposite of the love, compassion, and forgiveness that shows up in your heart chakra, which is this green here. When it's out of alignment or unbalanced, that is grief and hatred. So you've been praying and asking God to remove you from being, even seeing yourself through the lens of other people. Just a moment, guys. Sorry, guys. So anyhow, but yeah, that was confirmation, right? That when your heart chakra is out of balance or imbalanced, then you operate in grief and in hatred. And you've been asking God to help you, to help you to get out of that energy. Some of you have been praying and asking God to take you out of darkness and move you into a space to where you can let love in, where you can be love, where you can operate in your true self. And that requires that you allow help in. That's really what this is about. So when I talk about submission, that's what Spirit is saying. He's like, that's the point, is to be willing to trust enough to allow help in. Allow your team, God, your angels, spirit guides, ancestors, allow them to help you. There's like a desperation that they're showing me right now. It's like we're desperate to help you. Like we are just waiting, but we can't interject and intrude. We need you to ask us for help because it's a sign of vulnerability. It's a sign of willingness and desire to truly change. When you are stuck in abandonment wounds and safety wounds, feeling like your needs didn't get met when you were a child, you constantly feel like you've had to do everything by yourself. And it's hard to allow someone else into that space because it's like, well, everyone I've allowed into that space has failed me. So I can't let somebody else in. But what's being shown is that this is not just a regular help. God and your team are on your side. They're actually cheering for you. They're rooting for you. And they grieve not being able to enter into this temple alongside you to support you and to assist you and to pull you out of this darkness into the light. They grieve that. They're also showing me that you are deeply and divinely protected. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a sacred place inside of this triangle here. It's sacred. No man can enter. This is a space that is held only for you and your team. And no one else is allowed to enter that space. The clouds, the haze, this is grief, this is aggression, this is sadness, this is anger, frustration, and these clouds out here. No one is allowed in but your team. Out here, and this white line, the white light, is the barrier that protects you from the outside world, outside forces, but only when you are vulnerable enough to come into the temple. Wow, this is deeper than I was anticipating. Trust is important. free falling and being vulnerable, but reminding yourself that you should be fully clothed, meaning you should be prepared for your landing because you know that it's going to be a safe one. Let me put this a little closer so you can see. Hopefully you guys can see that. When they fall, they're already ready to go. So in the process, there's a releasing of the need to control, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to free fall and trust, knowing that spirit has your back. I'm going to put that there. Knowing that you're safe. Trusting and knowing that success is guaranteed. I'm hearing the world is your oyster. There's nothing that you're unable to accomplish, gain, collect, receive. It's all available and accessible to you. It's just a matter of you actually embracing that and allowing. I don't know if you can tell, but the individual on the card here, they have their arms wide open while they're riding on this tiger. They're not strapped onto the tiger. There's no indication that the tiger is not going to flip them upside down and knock them off into this world beneath them. But they're also not worried because they're fierce. The Five of Wands comes before the Six of Wands. They've had to endure the battle. Okay? Endure the battle. You've had to endure the battle. And now coming out victorious, you should recognize how powerful and how strong you are. You should also be able to call out that you deserve to be seen. You deserve a space in this world. And there's trust and vulnerability that come with that because there's an acceptance of the fact that you actually matter. You actually matter. Spirit actually has a plan for you, and it's a successful plan. For a lot of you, you already stand out. You notice that people are drawn to you. People always want to comment on how much they like you, how much they like what you're wearing, what you look like. Oh, you're pretty. Oh, you're this. You know, you're handsome. There's always something that people are drawn to or fascinated by you. And the crazy thing is that you haven't seen yourself. While they're seeing you in color, you see yourself in black, in darkness. And this has something to do with you feeling like you're not deserving. I'm hearing that loud and clear. This has something to do with you feeling like you don't deserve it. A lot of us listening to this have childhood wounds, father wounds, mother wounds, our needs not being met, feeling unsafe as a child. You're not seeing who you truly are. You're also not recognizing the power that you possess with mysticism here. Expansion is at the bottom of the deck because Spirit is bringing this message like very loudly to me, that Spirit is trying to expand you, to give you more opportunities, to show you that your gifts and who you are meant to be shown to the world. There's things that you're supposed to do. There's something that you're here for. Spirit wants to give you joy. But in order to do that, first your mind has to expand. It has to expand beyond the limiting beliefs that you have. And you'll notice again in the card, we have the heart chakra and the solar plexus chakra. But you'll also notice that there's a being here that would appear to be God, right? And then you have these angels behind them, the owl with the wisdom, totally falling into alignment with the message that Spirit just gave in regards to allowing yourself to be vulnerable to the world of God, allowing God in your space, allowing your guides in your space, embracing them. With mysticism here, there's something very royal about you. I am seeing like dark feminine energy, Lilith energy here, and Lilith is all about rising through pain into power, right? This is about like taking your power back, accepting and embracing who you are. This yellow door is representative of joy, finding your way. Instead of you seeing yourself in the light and finding joy in life, it's like you want to be hidden, or there's something about not feeling worthy of being seen. And that's why you put other people first. Spirit is giving me a very strong message right now. Someone told me one day, he said, the very interesting thing about you is that you'll be standing in line trying to get into heaven, and you think you would let the people behind you go first because you think that they're more valuable than you are. And when he said it, I was like, wow, what a smart aleck, right? Like, no, but it was the truth. And I didn't say no. I just said, oh. And then I was like, that is so true. And he goes, but why? And I'm like, I have no idea. I have no idea. You're the pearl. You're the gift, the opportunity. The advancement is you. You are the stamp of approval. You are the king, deserving of being seen, deserving of being placed in a rightful position. And I'm going to keep saying this until we get it, until all of us get it, me included. We are the kings. Doesn't matter if we're feminine, male or female, masculine, feminine, doesn't matter. I don't care how you identify. You are the king. Embrace your light. Come out of darkness. There's nobody on this earth that is more important and valuable than you. And it's because you have inner secrets, inner knowing and knowledge, wisdom, insight, mysticism that others do not have. It doesn't matter. You don't have to work for this. You don't have to do anything for this. All you have to do is trust and allow. Spirit's not asking you to give up all of your free will and your opinions and your thoughts. Spirit's just asking you to join the temple. There's already two sides waiting there. Spirit, your guides, and they're just waiting for you to join in, to bring it to completion, to find wholeness in them. Because you've been trying on your own and it hasn't been working. Spirit ain't messing around with us. My team ain't playing with us today. I guess they're tired of us. All right, I'm going to read this mysticism, okay? A woman named Aubergine. You are not to know the legend. A woman named Aubergine calls on the telephone to confirm that she will be with us tonight. Yet no woman named Aubergine has been invited. Of the 4 invited, 2 are wed and 2 are unknown. To each other, a woman and a man. Surely, if this mysterious woman were the guest of the man, she would have made it known. A woman approaches the woman named Aubergine, the woman who will be with us tonight. The inspiration. It is wise to be the observer. Do not respond until you are certain. The unknown is not easy, but it is no longer necessary to fear. Wow. Personal inquiry. Am I ignoring my intuition? What I suspect is probably true. I must breathe. The key ideas are ignoring signs, unknown motivation, intuitive knowing, fear of the unknown, journey. And the key words are intuition, courage, and uncharted. And I love this, and that's exactly why Spirit had me read this. You've been ignoring the signs, and your motivation has been unknown because you are not trusting your inner knowing. This is uncharted territory for you. It's scary. You've never been here before. Going into that door of joy is very scary because you've been sitting in a place of darkness, of not being seen, of being hidden. And the crazy thing is that this individual hiding behind this, I can tell she's stunning, she's gorgeous, she's beautiful, but she doesn't want to put herself out there because she's afraid. She's afraid that she's going to fail. A lot of you are afraid that you are going to fail. A lot of you are afraid of what it looks like to be successful. What would it look like if I really do get everything that I'm asking God for? What does it look like for me to be happy in life? to have community and people around me that believe in me, that are like-minded, that have similar, values and desires, motives? What would it look like for me to be around people who are not using me? What would it look like for me to have people that I actually feel safe with? Those are scary, scary, scary things to look at. But in order for us to stop people pleasing and to put ourselves first, we are going to be required to walk through that door. And that door is the door of trust. It is the temple. You'll notice this is interesting too, because this kind of looks like a church too, right? A temple. It looks like a sacred place. And there's an ask for us to step into that. Now, if you know that you're the king, you're not going to have no problem stepping into that place, right? Because you're going to be like, duh, I'm supposed to be here. Hello. And that's the attitude that Spirit is stating that we need to get, is I deserve to be here. I deserve to be here. And I don't deserve to be here so that I can go in and collect someone else, right? I'm not going through this door so that I can get my Prince Charming and be rescued and saved. Spirit is saying that you will rescue and you will save yourself when you enter the temple, this sacred space with your team. This is the rescue right here, guys. And this is just you and your team. You and your team. If Spirit chooses to bring others in, then he will. But that's not for you to concern yourself with. What the concern is that you can be vulnerable and share this space with Spirit. Okay? I'm going to get 2 more. I keep hearing do it afraid. Okay. 1 more. Okay, those 2 are coming out. Idealism. Yeah, there's this idea. This is the sun in Aquarius. There's some false ideas. There's some type of ideologies that you've been telling yourself that's not true in regards to who you are. It's almost as if Spirit is saying that you've been telling yourself that you needed to be enslaved to others in order for you to be successful. Like that your idealism has taken you to a place of feeling like you are insignificant without anybody else. Not talking about a partnership, but period. Anybody. Could be children, it could be family members, siblings. It's almost as if you feel like you can't do anything or go at it by yourself. And this is all based on false information. Creating these ideas that you need someone else to assist and support you on your journey. Because without them, how could you possibly do and get to where you need to go? It's almost like you see that there's no way out. You think that there's no way out other than by someone else leading you. That's how this feels. Like someone else has to guide you into the light, right? Like there's no way I could get there by myself. I need someone else to guide me into the light. And Spirit is saying, no, you're gonna take yourself into the light. I'm gonna take you into the light. Me and your team, we're gonna take you into the light. You for some, yeah. There's an idea that getting what you desire and you being put first and you gaining these things that you desire is bluff. Like you think it's crap. You think it's a lie. You don't believe it to be true. Let me look this up. I need to just make sure what this is. I know that this is Gemini. Yeah, but that's Jupiter. I was going to say, I think that's Jupiter. Yeah, Jupiter in Gemini. You don't believe that this is luck. There's 2 ideas. A part of you feels like, yes, I can get everything that I really desire. And the other part of you calls its bluff. It's like, oh no, that's not going to really happen. There's no way that that could really happen. And so you don't want to put yourself out there and take a risk to be vulnerable, to really submit to spirit, to your team, because you're like, no, because it ain't going to work. The side that doesn't believe in receiving, that's incapable of receiving, convinces you, you shut down the ideas how this is being shown to me. Any type of luck to you is like not a real thing. There's something in your subconscious that does not believe that luck is real. Something in your subconscious believes that you don't get lucky things, but that you work for them. There's some type of money, abundance, prosperity that you really, really desire. You really desire it, but you don't think that you're going to get it. With Saturn here, Saturn in Leo, Saturn here in Capricorn, definitely you believe that you have to work for everything. You're very practical and very logical in the way that you see receiving. But what I keep being drawn to is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. There's something that you don't know about the beginning and the end. Like the in-between, you're missing. You're missing because all you see is the beginning and the end. You're not seeing the opportunities in the middle. And it's because you won't allow yourself to just be okay without seeing the middle. You immediately jump to the end is what Spirit is showing me. You're immediately like, no, that's not going to work out. No, people are not generous. God is not generous. God's not going to be generous. Why would God be that generous to me? Why? Why am I that important? Why out of all of these people in the crowd would God see me? Why would God see me fit to be generous towards me when there's all these other people who have a need and I haven't done anything spectacular? And what you're not realizing is that you are the one that's way down here that appears to be invisible to everybody else. But there's something about you that God sees. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that you do walk in this humility and in this honor. There's something very gracious, generous, loving, and kind, and meek, and kind of timid. I'm sensing some naivety about you. And that's what God sees. I'm hearing the scripture, something about the children, like don't overlook the children because of their age, but it's something about like little is he, the child who does something. I don't know, something like that, guys. But there's something that God is showing me in regards to the childlike nature and energy of you. And that makes you stand out in the crowd. That's a reason why your team wants to be generous. Your team also is showing me that they want to be generous towards you because you have been generous to others. The generosity that you've given out to others, it wants to be returned to you. And it wants to be returned to you because your team, God knows that you're going to do right with the generosity. There's riches in you, is what I heard. This richness, this riches, this Saturn in Virgo or Capricorn energy, this is in you. Capricorns naturally bring in money. Capricorns are naturally like magnets, money magnets, okay? That's you. Saturn wants to gift you with riches because you have endured. I don't know if you can see her. She's had to endure. She's got snakes on this arm over here, snakes on her little instrument here. She's got angel wings. She's got a torch back here. It looks like she's got this crown, which is heavy. What's that saying? Because they're trying to tell me, but I'm not catching. It's heavy is the crown that wears the something. If you know what it is, put it in the comments for me, please. Your crown has been heavy. The weight of being you has been heavy. I think people have seen you as being this angel, and it's put you in a state of constantly feeling like you needed to be perfect. You've had lots of two-faced energies around you, people constantly trying to siphon your energy, to steal from you, to dismantle you is what I'm hearing. And it didn't work. You've rose to every occasion, every hit that has come your way, you've rose above that. You've chose to walk with, again, I'm picking up on this grace, this generosity, this love, this kindness, this energy of, again, naivety, but not in a negative sense. It's like this pure innocence of a child. Not allowing life to put a damper on your heart, to tear you down and condemn you to the point to where you don't want to love even yourself. And I'm hearing that weight is coming to the end, because riches will be placed in your hand. And that's because you have wore your crown with grace. You also are seeing things clearly. This reading, again, is bringing clarity to you. And that clarity is going to allow you to release this. They're giving me the scripture, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light, right? So you're going to release this burden to your team by placing it in the temple. I'm going to just put this up here. It's such an intricate part of our reading. I'm going to put it up here. This has affected your health. This is the sun in Virgo. I don't know why I'm like missing out on all the signs and don't know what I'm it's just a reading that has me a little like, woo, because the messages are coming through so strong. But this has affected your health. You haven't been able to pour into yourself, and you also haven't had others pour into you. And I'm telling you, Spirit is saying that that's changing. The riches are not just going to come from you having clarity in your mind, you being connected to the temple, your God, your team, but your health is going to improve because you haven't been able to take care of yourself. Some of you haven't been able to take care of yourselves because you've lacked finances. Some of you haven't been able to take care of yourselves because you've been so focused on everybody else that you've neglected your own needs, your own desires. Some of you haven't been eating right because you're so busy trying to make sure everybody else is taken care of. But I don't know if you can see this, what's changing and what's going to happen is Spirit is going to start pouring into you. People are going to start pampering and taking care of you. You're moving into this space. As you enter into the temple, you will move into this space of generosity, riches. But I think that you have blocked yourself from being healthy, meaning blocked your blessings of health by not believing and walking in this idealism, creating these ideas that don't actually align. There's someone that told you something when you were a child. It may have been more than one person. Someone told you something in regards to your being who you were as a child. I think people put you down and made you feel like you were inadequate or insignificant. Maybe you weren't seen or noticed as a child. And that'll definitely leave you feeling like you are insignificant and unimportant. That'll definitely put you in a state to where you put other people first. I'm seeing here with this excitement energy that you have not allowed yourself to get too excited. This is Mercury and Gemini. So this is about communication. The way that you talk to yourself is, again, I'm seeing like a barrier here. You prevent yourself from being too happy and too nice to yourself. And it's because that you're in this constant state of, so what I'm seeing is weird how Spirit is showing me this, but what I'm seeing is that it's like you build yourself up to a certain point and then you stop because you're like, no, I'm scared of what happens if I go to the other side. If I continue to build myself up, if I continue to convince myself that I'm deserving and worthy of these things, and these things actually come, again, if I actually get in that door into the temple where I have a team of supportive energies around me, what the heck is going to happen? When I become the king, when I'm successful, when I don't have to worry about anything, when I feel safe, when I feel secure, when I feel stable, when I have creativity and passion around me, and I'm able to enjoy just the small things, the minor things in life. When I have money and I'm able to buy what it is that I desire to buy, when I'm able to buy the fruits and the veggies in order for me to be able to eat healthy, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What happens to the old me? What happens when I'm seen and I want to hide? What happens? What happens when the mask comes off? The mask that I've been wearing, that I've been telling myself in regards to who I am, the lies that I've believed. What happens when that comes off? What happens when I'm not putting everybody else's needs before my own and I come into the acceptance that I matter? What happens to those people? Because for some of you, you're worried about the other people. What's going to happen to them when they don't have me to take care of them? And this is what's going to happen, guys. You're going to grow, expand, and abundance is going to come into your life. You're going to have good luck. You're going to have generosity coming towards you. You have generosity twice. This is about riches, which you have here as well. Expansion is Jupiter energy, which you have here as well. You're going to glow the heck up and you're going to live the life that you've been desiring to live. You're going to manifest and bring everything in that you desire. This is money. But the crazy thing is, guys, there's no one else here. This is all about you. This is all about you bringing in gifts to yourself, your spirit team, your ancestors. For a lot of you, you have super powerful ancestors. They were kings and queens in tribes. And they are backing you up, pushing you, motivating you. They've been praying that you would come in alignment, that you would ask them for assistance, and that you would release the need to control, that you would rest in this temple while they do the work out here. They're doing the dirty work for you. They're getting rid of everything blocking you. You'll notice that there's leaves growing out. There's life in the chaos. They're removing the chaos so that they can give you this abundant life that's fruitful and thriving and flourishing. All you have to do is rest in the temple. And when you rest in the temple, you will see the king within. You will unmask the king within. And you will receive the gifts that they're so freely trying to give you. Vesta here with devotion. This is Kundalini energy. In order for this to transmute, which it is transmuting right now, I don't know, a lot of you probably are feeling a little lighter, and I don't know how many minutes into this reading we are. 48 minutes into the reading. You should be feeling a lot lighter because there's a purity that's coming over you. This has been tough, guys. Most of you feel like you've been hit with a ton of bricks, okay? But moving forward, you're moving into a more fertile foundation, okay? This devotion, something else they showed me earlier was in regards to being devoted to this. Your commitment to this is what's bringing this in. This is what's clearing the energy. You're no longer sitting in gray areas. You're allowing yourself to be disciplined enough to recognize the true self, your true self, and you're allowing spirit to awaken the correct energies within you, to remove the old and to bring in the new. And that's because you're tapping in, you're choosing to go into the temple, meeting your own personal needs. This is Cancer energy. We're in Cancer season. This is a perfect time to tap into the reflective energy of the moon and allow yourself to fall into the yin energy, which is feminine energy of receiving. because Cancers are a feminine energy. This is an allowance. You're giving yourself, it's like a rite of passage is what I'm hearing. There's a rite of passage that you're stepping into. I gotta grab another deck, guys. And this rite of passage is allowing you to tap into your true self. You're devoting to yourself is going to allow you to see the king within. But there's also an alignment with the spirit realm, with, again, spirit, ancestors, guides. Wow, this is the gift, guys. The scholarship. Wow, this is about receiving opportunities. You guys think about, okay, think about what scholarships are. Anytime I see this card, I'm like, wow. Let me get one more and then I'll tell you what Spirit is showing me. Okay. Yeah, look, you're moving. Okay, moving from that to this. And look at the bottom of the deck. Multiplicity. Taking what was dissatisfying, turning it into something, and then multiplying it. This is abundance, guys. This is the energy of Jupiter. Multiplication, multiplicity. Wow, this is amazing. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. And all this is you pouring into you, seeing yourself as you deserve. When someone is offered a scholarship, do they deny it and say, oh, I don't deserve that? Because that's what Spirit is showing me. When you get a scholarship for college, if you haven't got one, think about that. If somebody comes and says, hey, here goes a $100,000 scholarship so you can get through college to get your degree. If you already have one, if they would have offered you this, would you deny it? Because I sure wouldn't. I would be like, oh my God, that's fantastic. Thank you. You can walk away without student loans. And you can pay for a room, boarding, food, transportation, etc. throughout college, right? Most depending on what college you go to. But for me, when I went to college, I could have done it that way. It would have been a lot cheaper. Well, it would have been free. But you can't, guys, drink lots of water, because as you're transmuting this energy, you're burning off a lot of energy. You need to restore and replenish your cells in your body. So put water in your body. No medical advice, just giving you my spiritual opinions. With dissatisfaction, you've been dissatisfied because you haven't been willing to accept the scholarship. And again, we're going back to this. This is the scholarship. This is the free gift that Spirit offers to you. It's for you to tap into and step into the temple, knowing that all is well. There's a peace in here. We started off with this card. There's a peace inside of the temple, and the temple is within you. The temple's within you. The place of peace, the place for, This is beautiful, guys. The place of your personal will, power, your heart opening, chakra awakenings, safety, security, creativity, passion is within the temple, and the temple is you. The reason why the king is showing up here is because the king doesn't need to be invited. The king invites. Kings do not, and they don't get invited to the castle. Which interesting thing is the castle's at the bottom of the deck here, right? The king doesn't get invited to the castle. The king owns the castle. You own this temple. But there's no support unless you invite your team in to help, unless you invite others to help. So what you're asking for is how to put yourself first. It's to recognize that you're the king. You own, your body possess the temple. And that if you're dissatisfied with the temple, you will not receive the gifts to bring into the temple, which is this scholarship. So there's an acceptance of seeing yourself in a pure light. It's uncomfortable for a lot of us to think so highly of ourselves, but this is not an ego. This is an acceptance of who we were created to be. You are abundance. This offering of the scholarship, this is within you. The power, the token, the ticket, the gift, the jewel, that's within you. And as you begin to accept your position as the king of your life, the one who doesn't ask for permission to go into the temple, but gives permission for others to come into the temple, then you'll begin to see how others impact the temple. So this is the way that they're showing me. When you meet new people, because you've gone through so much pain and turmoil in the past, I'm seeing the Three of Swords. When you meet new individuals, you will have to assess them. You're the king. You will analyze, watch, sit back, pray, and assess to see if they're deserving to be allowed to come into your temple. So in order to stop being codependent, people-pleasing, and putting others first, you have to first acknowledge that you're the king and you get to own and determine who comes in the temple. So when someone from your past puts you in a position to choose yourself or them, you'll remind yourself that I'm the king. I deserve to be here. But you, I'm not sure about. I need to assess whether or not you deserve to be in the temple. When those people come into your temple, are they bringing dirt in the temple? Are they spitting on the temple floors? Are they coming in with the intention of honoring, respecting, and valuing the temple? Or do they come into the temple to bring disruption? Are they the type of individuals that make you want to flip tables when they come into the temples? Into your temple. Remember, you're the king. This is your temple. Do they bring dissatisfaction, the Five of Pentacles energy? Do they bring a burden with them with the Ten of Wands energy? Do they bring a dark energy that is very disruptive to you? Do they come in with an attempt to kick you off of your throne as the king? Do they want to take your position of power? Do they come in with the idea that they want to control? Are they politicians is the question that I'm hearing right now. Are they going to come in and make you feel guilty off of mistakes that you've made in the past? What do the individuals that you allow into the temple bring? Is it expansive energy? Or is it energy that is disruptive? Is their energy abundant? Do they allow you to feel safe in the temple when they're present? Do they make you question whether or not you should actually be in the temple or not? If they don't see you as being deserving of the scholarship, if they don't see you as the king that you are, if they don't see your value, respect you, honor you, then why would you put them before yourself? Why would you allow someone into your temple, your sacred space, that does not see you as being the owner of that space, the king of that space? If the people coming into your life or who are presently in your life don't allow you to be authentically true to who you are, if they don't allow you to have an inner spark or a joy, a zeal, or a zest for life, for just being you, if they put fears in your heart and in your mind and in your psyche, if they make you question who you are as a person, if they make you doubt who you are as a person, as the king, remember you're the king, then why would you want to keep them in your life? Why would they be more significant than you? Why would they matter more? Remember, God's not looking for the individuals who are putting others down to promote and to elevate and to provide abundance. There's gifts given to those who have faith, who have sacred hearts and minds and spirits. And God sees all things. It's just a matter of you tapping into your truth, who you really are. These emotions with the moon here can sometimes, especially since the moon energy is subconscious energy, sometimes this can be a part of why your ideas and energy is clouded. And it's because you can get so caught in your emotions that prevents you from actually seeing yourself, who you are. And instead it kind of flips things around and it'll put other people in that position. Even your desires can be placed in the position of being things that are not deserving of being in the temple. So for example, if you idealize a partner, a relationship, a person, waiting for them to come in, that can disrupt your temple. Your temple can be disrupted because you don't have the frequency of you being the king. And it's because anything that knocks you off of the throne of being the power, the authoritative figure in your life outside of spirit and your team, right? If anything in the 3D world, anything around you tangible, because I'm seeing the King of Pentacles, anything around you that's tangible that knocks you out of this position as king is a problem for the temple. Because the temple is a space of sacredness. The temple is a space where you go for joy, for solitude, and for peace. And if you're looking for any peace, any love, any satisfaction, validation outside of this temple, then you're going about it wrong. So I am amazed at Spirit right now. I'm so amazed by this reading. I'm going to bring this to an end. I am going to get up and I'm going to sound my sound bowl again. I want to play it so that we can just close the energy out. Hopefully you'll do some cleansing breaths with me as we play the sound bowl to exit the reading. But this is beautiful. It's a reminder that you deserve to be the validity in your life. And that validity is found within the temple. This is where joy, happiness, creativity, satisfaction, passion, endurance, the sun, that's where this comes from. Is from recognizing that you are the king of the temple. And anything, again, I'm repeating this, Spirit has me repeating this, anything outside of this temple that does not allow you to be king, ruler, authoritative figure over the temple is not okay. If something is not here, if someone is not here, if they are not giving to you, if they are not present, if they are not multiplying your gifts, operating and allowing you to be in abundance, abundance is in here. If that's not happening, then you have to remove them from the temple. They cannot be a part of this space. Wishful thinking cannot be a part of this space. They're showing me the Queen of Swords. This has to be about reality. The reality of it is that you're the king. You make yourself happy. You give yourself everything that you need. There's nothing that you need outside of you. Everything is within you. Home, the moon here, is within you. Be devoted to your kingdom status, this king priesthood status that you are, and be devoted to the temple, keeping the temple clean, okay? I hope that this resonates with you. I'm going to get up and do my sound bowl, and then we're going to close this out. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for staying present, and pardon me for the disruption earlier of my doorbell ringing. Alrighty, if you want to take some cleansing breaths with me, we're going to just remove the energy. If you have headphones on, we are setting the intention. You may want to turn them down, but we're going to set the intention that everything in this reading will come to fruition in our lives. We will see ourselves as the kings and the rulers of the temples, that we will guard, safeguard our temples, that we will protect our energy. We will protect this triangle around us with white light of love and joy, and we will find peace, happiness, contentment, joy, and satisfaction, validity within ourselves, validating, only needing to be validated by who we are and not from an outside source. Alrighty, turn your headphones down. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time.